Rabbi Tuli Wise, thanks for joining us, founder of Israel 365. President Trump made news recently when he came out against the two-state solution. How significant is this?
Well, very significant. He would be the first American president to go against the conventional wisdom that has dominated the landscape for the last 30 years. It is it's very consistent with his other statements since the war began. President Trump has been very supportive of Israel, but what he said to Time magazine was very surprising. He said that he used to believe in the Palestinian state. He used to believe in a two-state solution, but he doesn't believe it anymore. And he's changed his mind in light of, frankly, the Palestinian community. The atrocity itself, the rampant support for the Hamas attacks from the population, not only in Gaza, but also throughout the Arab towns in Judea and Samaria.
And I also understand you wrote a letter, along with others, to Trump himself.
Right. We had formed a coalition called Keep God's Land, which is a coalition of faith leaders, Jewish and Christian, who are both opposed to the two-state solution, opposed to a Palestinian terror state, in support of Israel maintaining its sovereignty and settling the entire greater Israel, of Israel, Judea and Samaria, and Gaza. And as soon as the Trump's remarks were publicized, so we drafted a letter to thank President's support for his moral clarity. We circulated it in the Jewish community. We circulated it in the Christian community outside it through the Keep God's Land Coalition. And in just an hour, we had 100 signatures. I think we're up to about 400 signatures of faith leaders who are in gratitude to President Trump for changing his mind and revoking his support for the Palestinian state.
Yeah. Yet the Biden administration actually seems to be pushing for a two-state solution. Why do you believe a two-state solution is not what Israel should be doing right now?
Yeah, the Biden administration on October 8th and 9th was already reaffirming their commitment to the two-state solution as the only solution. A lot of people think, well, there is no alternative to the two-state. It is the solution. It's not true. There are alternatives. Ambassador David Friedman, who is a big part of the leadership of the Keep God's Land Coalition, he has presented an alternative, a one Jewish state solution where Israel maintains sovereignty throughout Judea and Samaria. The two-state solution would reward terrorism, number one, and it would be a strategic and military nightmare for the state of Israel. The Palestinian state would be on our borders, on our neck, surrounding our airports, surrounding Jerusalem. But also from a biblical, spiritual point of view, this is not even our land. This doesn't belong to the Israeli people. The land of Israel belongs to God, and it's not ours to give it up. We must keep God's land.
Well, it's a point that a lot of people may not realize if they don't read the Bible. This land is also called the West Bank, but by most of the world, much of the media. And you had a declaration at the NRB in February. Tell us what that declaration was.
Well, Keep God's Lands came out with this new policy towards the media, and we worked very closely with the NRB, the National Religious Broadcasters, on encouraging Christian conservative media, also Jewish media, to refer to the territory by its rightful name, Judea and Samaria, and not by the inaccurate names of the occupied territories or the West Bank. So the NRB actually endorsed this resolution at their major conference of Christian communicators in Nashville, Tennessee in February. And the Keep God's Land Coalition has only been building momentum since that launch in February. We had a major event in Washington, D.C. recently where we had leading congressmen and women and senators also talking about their opposition, congressional opposition to a Palestinian terror state alongside, or what they would want instead of, Israel.
Okay. Well, Rabbi Tuly Wise, thanks for joining us here on CBN News.
Thank you for having me, Chris.